Great morning, beautiful people. I hope you are ready this morning. Go ahead and join in, share on your page, share with your friends, even mention some of your friends that you want to hear about this, because I always say all the time, it's important that we grow, but it's most importantly that we grow together. We want to be able to share the same information, have the same conversations, and that is our purpose for doing these 7 minutes of strategy on what I like to call a sexy cup of coffee. So come on in and make sure you share. And we also give giveaways for those who share, who leave comments, or hit like, because we just want to get the word out that there is an answer to whatever problem you're facing, and hopefully one of these strategies that we share will help you accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish. But I'm extremely excited this week because this is the week. Today at 10 o'clock a.m., the tickets go on sale for the Mr. Provider stage play. Who take care of the man that take care of everybody else? This is something that's going to be a blessing to the men in your life, your father, your son, your husbands, male friends that you know. And it's going to be a blessing to the women to journey into the side of men so you can see some things that men think that they usually don't talk about. I put it all out on the table, and many families have been blessed. Many relationships has been blessed because of it. But today, we are focusing on a sexy cup of coffee. It is 7 minutes of strategy to start your Monday off right, to start your week off right, so you can accomplish the things that you want to accomplish through the week, and that's what we want to do. So for those that are on, for those who will be joining in, we'll go ahead and jump in right now, because I want to make sure I am effective with the time that you're giving me to share a sexy cup of coffee. And I am Terrell Munger, the sexiest man alive. That's what I like to call myself. But it's not because of what you think. It's because I've come up with a strategy based on your social level, your education level, your communication level, and the exponential level in which you understand these things helps your influence level in any room that you are in. So we're going to jump in today. Your strategy for this wonderful Monday morning and for this wonderful week is to think like a lender. Yes, to think like a lender. The Bible says that we will be lenders and not borrowers. And we have to grasp and understand totally what that means. Lenders, they're very strategic in what they do and how they do it. They're very strategic on who they operate with. Because number one, if you're going to be a lender, you're going to have to look to earn. Don't expect anybody to give you anything. You want to earn whatever it is that you have. Number one, people will respect you for it. And number two, you'll appreciate what you have. Even when you present your request to God, have a earner's mindset. In other words, I want to make sure that my prayer life matches my work ethic. That everything that I'm praying for, I'm willing to work for. Even if I'm praying for health, I'm willing to put in the work to change the eating habits or the lifestyle or whatever the situation that caused the problem. I'm willing to put in the work so I can present my request before God, and I can be a co-laborer with God, with the Holy Spirit, with Jesus, to be a co-laborer to get into my life what I am praying for. If it's managing my finances, if it's exercising more, whatever it is, I want to make sure that what I'm praying for, if I'm praying for open opportunities, that means I'm going to treat people better. I'm going to make better relationships. I'm going to treat everybody like they're important. So whatever request I'm even presenting toward God, I want to make sure my work ethic matches my prayer life. And I'm not asking anybody to give me anything. Most of the people that are angry and bitter and frustrated in life is because they're asking for things that they're not getting. It's okay to ask. You have not because you ask not. But when you ask, make sure you're willing to respect where the person is. They have the right to say yes or no, and you're willing to work for what it is that you're asking for. And in other words, I want to make sure I'm adding value to you if I'm asking you to add anything to me. So that's first step. If you're going to be a lender, you have to be in the mindset of earning what it is that you want. Now, the second thing is equally as important, that you have to make sure whatever it is you're putting into, you're getting a return on your investment. Oh, yes. Even the people that are in your life. Make sure you're investing your time and your energy and your encouragement, your motivation, your advice, whatever it is, into people that will yield a return on that investment. Even if the return is them doing better because you had the conversation. And not just wasting your time with people that keep coming to you with relationships problems and financial problems and all these things, but you give them some valuable information and they just go back to doing the things that caused the problem in the first place, and they come complaining to you again. It will wear you out. And what I'm saying is really biblical, guys, because the Bible even tells you not to cast your pearls before swine. It said, because if you do, they will rip it apart and then come after you. What that means practically is when you give your valuable information, your valuable time, your valuable energy to people who don't appreciate it, they will rip you apart. They'll take all your energy, they'll drain you, they'll make you feel weak and tired just talking to them. And then when you don't help them anymore, they'll tear your name apart. They'll come tell people. Have you ever noticed that people are good as long as you're doing things for them? But if they come to you at a time when you can't do it or you can't afford it, the same people that you help will then start talking about you. That's when you're casting your pearls before swine. So only give your time, your energy, and your advice to people that will yield a return on the investment. Whether the return is them doing better, or whether the return is them being there for you the way you were there for them, or maybe you growing together. But make sure you're receiving a return on your investment, or you will go bankrupt. You'll be emotionally bankrupt, spiritually bankrupt, mentally bankrupt. It's because you were not being a lender and making sure you're investing in things that's going to yield a return on the investment, whatever it is. All right. Now, the last thing is when you're a lender, just think about banks, just think about loan institutions or whatever. They know when to cut their losses. Now, this is very important. Everything you go into, you have to accept the fact that there may be a time that you're going to have to cut your losses. And what I mean by cut your losses is if somebody doesn't yield the return that you expected, you got to be able to cut them off without being bitter, without being mad, without throwing mud on their name. Cutting your losses means I expected to go into this. Nobody's 100%. Nobody's perfect. People are going to disappoint me. People are going to let me down because if you're honest with yourself, you've disappointed people. You've let people down. So when it gets to a point where you feel like you're investing too much and you're not getting any return from it, know when to cut your losses. Just because you've done it a certain way does not mean you have to keep on doing it that way. And just because you have done a thing does not mean you have to keep on doing that thing, because you have to know when to cut your losses. This is very important, because if you cut your losses, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job that's burning you out, whether it's a partnership, if you cut your losses quick enough, you'll find that you won't be as bitter and as angry because you stayed too long, you lost too much, and it took too much from you. And when you cut your losses, man, when banks cut their losses with you, they don't blast you on Facebook. Matter of fact, they give you an opportunity to restore your credit and come back again if you want to. So you cannot take it personal when people disappoint you and you have to cut your losses. You don't have to tell everybody, yeah, I'm cutting people off. Yeah, I ain't fooling with these folks. Yeah, no, because it makes you look angry and bitter and mad, and it can hinder future relationships or future partnerships that have the possibility to come into your life. So you got to have a lender's mindset, not a borrower. Borrowers always want something, and most of the time they want something for nothing. They want to give back less than they were able to receive. But lenders make sure they invest in the right spot. They expect a return on their investment, and they know when to cut their losses when it is time. So that is your strategy for this week. Think like a lender, not a borrower, and it'll help you in your job, it'll help you in your business relationship, it'll help you in your personal relationship, because you can stay on top of it to make sure you're your best self so you can live your best life and you can give your best to the world. Now, don't forget, Ticketmaster, it's available. You can go to my page, the Mr. Provider Stage Play. After I come back from Unshakable Faith, you're going to be ready for this stage play, Mr. Provider. It is Sunday. We have two shows, one at 1:30, one at 6 o'clock. It's going to be off the chain. We've already started rehearsing. Phenomenal cast, phenomenal story. It's going to be very encouraging to the men in your life and to the women who want to understand the mind of men. So we thank you so much. And once again, I am Terrell Munger. the sexiest man alive, because I have discovered that your social level, your education level, your communication level will exponentially affect your influence level if you do this thing right. So guys, make sure you share, make sure you talk about it, make sure you take this knowledge and grow because of it. But I need you to do me a favor. Can you do me a favor? Whatever you do today, guys, make it meaningful, make it impactful, make it personal, but above all, make it sexy, because you're going to need that. TerrellMunger.com. Go check your sexy score. Be more effective in your life, and everybody in your life will thank you for it. And you'll thank me one day. Hopefully I added something to your life. Love you guys. Have a great day.